Hi, welcome to YoosyViews for another Premier League roundup of the weekend. First fixture I'm going to talk about is Man United versus Southampton, which was a 3-0 win for Manchester United. Manchester United had a good result there, but against the bottom half team, so it's a good result, but they needed that win. Erik ten Hag has been struggling recently with a few bad performances, so it was a big win to keep him in the job. And overall, it was a good performance from, picking Eriksen and not playing Casemiro or Ugarte was a big decision, which I think paid off. But it shows the momentum of games because Southampton were playing good before the penalty. After the penalty missed, the whole momentum of the game just swung to Manchester United. And then Manchester United, their attackers were really good. I thought his link-up play was excellent. The way he dribbles past defenders, the way he links up the play, his technical quality is amazing. I think he does need to add a bit more killer instinct and finishing into his game. But when he is, I think he'll be one of the best strikers in the league overall. And overall, a good performance. Amad Diallo, I think he's excellent. I think they need to build around him and Garnacho for the future. And Rashford, a good goal to build confidence for the future because they need him to perform if they want to climb up the table and hopefully get into the top four and play well in the Europa League. So, and they got Barnsley in the next game, which obviously is not as big of a game because it's in the League Cup, but that'll be another game just to get Ugarte in, get him into game rhythm for the team and build up his match fitness. And Casemiro can be used obviously for squad depth in them games. Right, the game of the weekend, the North London derby, where Arsenal won 1-0, which was a huge win, because if we didn't win that game, then it would have been tough going against City next week, having dropped more points after Brighton last week. But overall, great performance by Arsenal. And the centre-back, people have been discussing this online, the centre-back pairing, who's better. Christian Romero, he's known as the guy for Argentina, won the World Cup, won the Copa America, but whenever I see him, he's just, what he's meant to be good at, he's not even good at. He's supposed to be this strong, brute force centre-back. But Gabriel just pushed him away like he was a child and won the header off him. And Romero, poor marking. It was slightly Vicario's fault for not coming out, but Vicario's not good on crosses, so Romero, pathetic. And Van de Ven should have been an athletic sprinter going up against Usain Bolt rather than being a footballer, because every time I see him play good, he's just running. He's not developing any good progressive passes. He's not driving with the ball. He's not getting him out of the press. He's just running. That's all he's good at, running. So overall, don't ever compare Saliba and Gabriel to generational centre-backs, in my opinion, for Arsenal for the next decade, compared to Van de Ven, an athletic sprinter, and Romero, a passing merchant, a fighter who's not even good at what he's supposed to be good at. Speaking of Spurs, overall, I'll say their wingers were just not good at all. Son, I don't think should be a winger anymore. He's clearly old. He's lost his pace. So he should be a striker. And Son Heung-min was just terrible. People say he's better than Saka. That's purely off reputation, because Saka's clearly better at the moment. And Brendan Johnson might be the worst winger I've seen in the Prem currently. He has a decent cross in him, no pace, no weak foot to give the defender another problem to deal with. And Timber handled him easily. He wasn't even under any pressure at all. That's why Timber was driving forward so much, because he wasn't worried about Brendan Johnson's pacing behind. And they spent 45 million on him. They talk about Arsenal's transfer window. What a pathetic signing that was by Ange Postecoglou. I think he should be under more pressure than he is. I think because he's nice with the media, people like him, the way he talks. But overall, I think he should be under more pressure because he's had the backing. He spent Dominic Solanke 65 million, wasn't good enough. He's had Brendan Johnson signed, and he didn't use the midfielders he did sign. He didn't use Archie Gray. He didn't use Bergvall off the bench. So I think overall, he needs to use his subs better and use his investment of the squad better in the games overall.
Would you take Solanke at Arsenal?
Dominic Solanke. I would never have taken Dominic Solanke at Arsenal. Dominic Solanke is pathetic. He's a one-season wonder. He didn't even hit 20 at Bournemouth. He was at Chelsea before, Liverpool, and he never did it, so you can't do it at a top club.
What about Timber's red card?
Timber's red card, right?
You think it was a red card?
Timber's red card. Look at Curtis Jones. That was a red. Timber, he just went for the ball clearly. And then Vicario trying to be like some Hulk person that he is, going to talk up to him. As soon as Timber stuck it on him, he folded, didn't he? He folded and he just stopped talking. Because Timber, he went for the ball and Pedro Porro exaggerated as always. It reminds me of, the first week, Newcastle, Southampton, where Fabian Shaw slightly headbutted Burton Diaz and then he got him sent off. Pedro Porro was trying to do something like that, wasn't he?
Defenders do that. They like to get people riled
over-exaggerated, try and get riled up. So I think overall, I think Timber's red card was never a red card. I think Spurs fans were just looking for a way to get an advantage in the game. And Timber, I thought, was quality at left back. I think he's obviously going to take time because obviously he was injured for the whole of last season. But I think you're seeing his quality shine through. And I think we've got the best defence in the whole league right now. I think our defence can go up against anyone in the world. But I think where we're going to be let down this season is the attack, in my opinion. And I'll move on to Gabriel Martinelli. I thought he was good. In this type of games, he's good where the other team has the ball and the space in behind. I think Martinelli's good. He gives them pace in behind and he gives them a threat to deal with. Like Pedro Porro, obviously left space behind because he's an attacking right back. So I think overall, Martinelli was good. But then again, you saw when he had the shot in the first half, it was a pathetic shot straight at Vicario. And that's where he needs to be better. The final pass, the final shot, he needs to improve. And like I've said, we need to sign a world-class left winger either in January or next year. We're hearing rumours that Arsenal are in good PSR sustainability area. So they need to use the investment they have now to sign a top-class left winger like a Rodrigo, like a Rafael Leao, who's AC Milan haven't had the best start, so maybe he might want to leave AC Milan. So that's a player we need to invest in. And Kai Havertz, I don't rate him overall, but I thought he was really good in the North London derby. I thought he held the ball up excellently. I thought he brought others into play. I thought he drew fouls when he could, which was excellently to slow the game down, to give Spurs, slow their momentum in the game when they were trying to create chances overall. So I think overall, a great result for Arsenal, and it's the big game next weekend, Arsenal vs City. If we lose that game, then we're going to be far behind. City are going to show their quality in attack, which I think where we might struggle is City have Haaland, Savio, who are, in my opinion, world-class attackers who can give defences nightmares when they're on it. And I think our attack, apart from Saka, I think that's where we struggle. The killer instinct, the world-class potential, the world-class kind of decisive factor when the system of Arteta is not working and you need a player to just produce a moment of magic out of nothing. I think the only player we have, in my opinion, is Odegaard. And maybe Saka, you can add to that. But Odegaard's injured and Saka, I think, he's overplayed so much. It's like, are you going to get the best level out of him when he's constantly playing week in, week out, week in, week out? So overall, I think it's going to be a tough game next week against City. But I
think Arsenal dealt with Haaland last time.
We did.
Easily.
I think we did. But overall, I think Erling Haaland, I think he has struggled against top-class centre-backs. I think he's had a good start, but I think he still hasn't proven it. Against Real Madrid, he struggled. Against Rudiger, he struggled against Saliba and Gabriel.
So where is a City goal going to come from?
I think it'll come from Haaland attracting our centre-backs and space for De Bruyne. And that's where maybe Declan Rice is key coming back to be that destroyer, stop Kevin De Bruyne on the edge of the box, Bernardo Silva. Finding those, edge of the box goals where Haaland's creating space for others.
Score prediction for next week?
Score prediction. I'd say 1-1 because I think Arsenal, Mikel Arteta is gonna play for the draw, which I think is pathetic mentality personally. I think you've got to take the title. You can't just, you've got to take the title. You've got to go there believing you can win and go for it, in my opinion. You can't just sit back and be happy with the draw. Like last year, if we won that game at the Etihad where we sat back, we would have won the league because it was 2 point difference. If we went for it rather than sitting back for the whole game and wanting a draw, I think that's a loser mentality personally. So I think we need to go for it and believe in our quality and our players. And I'd rather lose on our shield than going there and not even trying to win.
I don't think it's losing mentality.
Why?
Because that's the first time we took a point from them in years at the Etihad.
Yeah, but that was with our poor team, like David Luiz, like the
exactly.
bad times
so
of Arsenal.
That shows how far they've come, and I think maybe this time round they will have more confidence to take them on.
Maybe.
And Martin
but I still think we didn't do enough. I think if we signed an Isak in the summer, who's going to make that difference.
Don't need him.
We don't need him. Also, you think Havertz is better than Isak?
I didn't say that. I think Havertz is enough.
That's what we know. It's not enough.
It is enough.
Well, what about left wing then? If we signed one of us striker left winger, I don't believe in Havertz.
Sterling could start next week.
Do you think Sterling's going to make the difference against Man City?
He scored against them at Chelsea.
But if they're using their own reject to try and beat them, what is that?
We saw how Havertz changed when he came from Chelsea. I think the same could be said for Sterling.
No.
You see players change. Look at Sancho.
He didn't change.
Look at Sancho for Chelsea now.
1.5 performance. I did think he had a good game, but it's like
I've seen Chelsea fans call him the next Hazard on the left.
I have.
With Cucurella as well.
I think
the player's environment matters just as much.
I agree.
As the player's actual skill.
No, I agree, but it's like Kai Havertz cost 65 million. People are overrating Kai Havertz so much because he just wasn't as bad as we thought he would be. Now people are thinking he's a great signing. For the money he's on, he's not worth it, really. 275k a week, 65 million.
The money is always an argument, but the statistics and the performances also speak.
No, but like I said 2 weeks ago in my first video, like I said, he cost us 90 mil because he was signed as a left 8. He couldn't work there, so we had to move him to striker and then sign Mikel Merino this summer. So look, he's cost us 90 mil because he was supposed to be the left 8 for us. But now we have to sign Mikel Merino to replace the position he should have been playing.
Well, I'm happy he's not the left 8. He is the striker. And he is the striker that will make us win the league.
Against Haaland. But then again, I'll just go back to this. Reports are that Isak is going to sign a new contract to Newcastle, but he wants a release clause. So looking at it, that's something that if he has a release clause in there like he wants, also got to meet that in my opinion. January or summer, you got to meet that release clause. It won't be 100. If he's 100 mil, I think go for it. I think he's worth it as a striker.
£100 million.
If a striker, not if Bruno G, because Bruno G's a midfielder. He think he has the same release clause.
There's 100 million for Isak.
We spent 100 mil for Declan Rice. I'd rather spend 100 on Isak.
You would spend that for Isak?
Yeah, I would. Because I think we won't even have an adapting period. Because City, they adapted with Haaland because he's such a different striker. Isak can play all way and score more, and he's more clinical. And he gives us the option on the left. You know, when let's say Martinelli's injured, he gives us the option on the left, then you can move Havertz back up front if he gets injured. That's more squad depth.
Arteta likes versatile players.
Exactly.
I do not think they'll pay 100 million.
He plays 10 for Sweden, Isak, because like Gyökeres plays up front, he plays the number 10. So if you ever need it, Odegaard's injured, we don't really have. If you want to trust Ethan to play the number 10, but I think Isak could be a 10 as well if you need him to in a game where it's a high magnitude game. Ethan might not be ready as a 17-year-old to do that.
All right, we'll just touch on them. What do you think of Sterling and Ethan Nwaneri when they came on?
I thought Ethan Nwaneri looked good. I thought Sterling was running into a bit of traffic, just not playing the right pass. Remember when he was driving towards the defence, could have had a shot, and then he ran into traffic. That's what he does.
Couldn't get a
Chelsea
shot
fans, I saw it on the timeline. Chelsea fans,
I did get scared when I saw
that's what he does. He's very indecisive. But look, I'm not going to be against it. Look, this was the plan by Arsenal, I'm telling you. This was the plan. The plan was, don't sign any attacker, wait till the last day of the window, so then it looks like a good signing. If you signed Sterling in June, what would you have thought of that?
It would have been underwhelming.
Exactly, but you've been...
But I think the structure of the deal, we're not paying
They're
very
paying,
much.
I think 250, we're paying 100.
It just makes sense.
It's a good deal if we signed a striker on top of it.
But Arsenal do like to pick players they know for definite will work, and they won't just rush.
Well, every signing to just, okay, I know this is going to sound stupid, right? To my views, I know this is going to sound stupid, but it's like, okay, would you not sign Kylian Mbappe because he never played in the Prem? By your logic, you'd rather sign like...
You can't compare it to that.
That's basically what you're saying though, because you're saying that it's a risk, every signing's a risk.
I'm not saying the signing is a risk, I'm just saying they will only sign someone they're sure of.
But what do you mean sure of? Sure of don't you mean Premier League proven, which is one of these things I hate, Premier League proven.
But they loaned him first and then they bought him.
Yeah.
Gabriel wasn't Premier League proven, but in your words, he's a centre-back for the next decade.
No, I'm literally against Premier League proven. What I'm saying, I'm against that. I don't like that mentality. I like Saliba was in Premier League proven.
But that is still the club taking a risk on a signing. Gabriel, they signed from Lille.
Yeah. And
Saliba, he was a risk.
Saliba was one of the best managers' careers ever because they knew he wasn't ready. Sent him out on loan.
People questioned Arteta a lot.
No, but I think that was Unai Emery signed him, didn't he? Yeah, Unai Emery signed him. That was a great signing. People say Unai Emery wasn't good. He arguably made our best centre back signing in the last decade, signing William Saliba, and they managed him perfectly because they knew he wasn't ready. They sent him out on multiple loans. Yeah. Now he's like, in my opinion, he's the best centre back in the world. Rudiger couldn't shout at him, I think. But I think he just... Do you remember that clip last year when Haaland and Saliba were running for that counter-attack and he just bodied him?
Yeah.
William Saliba, I think honestly, William Saliba, I think we need to win something though, I'll be honest. What do you think? We need to win something.
If we don't win something this season...
Madrid will go for it. One of the top teams will go for it.
There is a chance a top team will come for some of our players.
But I think there was a good sign. Did you see the way he celebrated with Gabriel after the goal?
Yeah, it's passion.
The way he celebrated, I think that shows that he does really care about winning. I don't think it's even about winning. I think they just need to show the investment that they're signing, top players.
They've got top players.
No, they don't. In attack, I think honestly midfield and defence. I think we're sorted in Champions League as well.
Gyökeres is my man.
I wouldn't sign Gyökeres. Honestly, I wouldn't. Because I think it could. But you can adapt. You can have an adapting period. Better than Isak. Depends. Arteta likes versatility, as you just said.
But I don't think we need his versatility. We've got other positions covered. Just striker.
Anyway,
striker and Gyökeres.
Go on then. Anyway, just to end off, what are your predictions for the Arsenal City game on Sunday?
Arsenal City will be 2-1 Arsenal. A goal from Saka and a header from Saliba.
Right, there you have it. I'm going for a draw because I don't live in delusion like these Arsenal fans who just are blinded by loyalty that Arsenal are going to win. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification bell to be notified to my next video.